Yeah, but I want to get a picture of the guy because he's a redhead.
Okay. Authentic. No, it's not her. I need, yeah. Yes. We were power walking to get here. I'm very mad at Beep Beep.
I think my tickets flew away.
To my colleague.
Okay. Can I go back and forth?
Hold on, Norris, Tyler.
Anyone come on in? We're having a human experience, whether you like it or not. All right. Oh, there we go. This is so good. So, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the castle tour. So, I think the most important part of the tour is to explain why is this here and why should I care. Let's start with myself, right? My name is Ryan. You can tell from my accent, I'm clearly not Scottish, and for that, I apologize. I am Canadian, which is why I'm apologizing. From a small town called Whitby in Canada. Have you heard of Whitby? No, you haven't. Nah, it's some loser town near Toronto. I have bigger dreams in my life than living in some loser town. I wanted to be a tour guide. I'm just kidding. Used to have real dreams. But you know, when I was a kid, I read a lot of books. I had a big imagination. I wanted to see the whole world. I wanted to meet everybody. Not everybody, but some people. And so I moved to Europe 10 years ago. I used to live in Prague, the Czech Republic. I became an English teacher. That was just too much work. Then I became a tour guide. If you have any questions about the Prague Castle, you can ask me or whatever. I moved to Edinburgh almost exactly 3 years ago, October 2020, which, yes, is a great time to move to a new city, by the way. Thank you for asking. You have questions about me or for me, you can feel free to ask. I'm an open book. Truthfully, I am kind of tired of talking about myself. People come on this tour, best part. Also, sometimes the worst part. But you know, on these introductions, I have seen people become friends on these tours. I've seen people hook up on these tours. Yeah, not with me, unfortunately. So do this little circle here and tell me your name, which I will forget, but it's polite to ask. And then tell me where you're from. And be specific, for specificity is the heart of storytelling. Anyway, let's start over here, if that's okay with you.
Anna and Lee Blevins from Columbus, Ohio.
Love it, great. Very much, thank you guys. Hi.
I'm Olivia, San Francisco, California.
I left my heart. Hey.
I'm actually from New Zealand.
Where in New Zealand?
Wellington.
Hi.
Guy Karen from Brisbane in Australia.
Gotcha. The hot part, right? Yeah, cool. Welcome. Hi.
Joe from Southwest Georgia.
Cool. Very specific. I like it. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Tom, also from Joe.
What's the name of the town?
Baybridge. An hour away from Tallahassee.
There we go. Oh, there we go. All the other things I know. Yeah, that's in Florida, right? There we go. Nailed it. Thanks, guys. Hi.
Got it from Holland.
From Holland, but where?
Arnhem.
There we go. There we go.
Near Eindhoven.
Near Eindhoven, right. The Phillips town. Yeah. Hey.
Hermans, also Netherlands.
Yeah, thank you very much. Hey,
Hi.
So again? Where in France? Yeah, Normandy or south, or the ocean. Cool, merci beaucoup. Aussi. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Très bien. Hi.
Hi, Anita.
Okay, great.
From from Buffalo, New York.
Gotcha. That's basically Canada as far as I'm concerned. I was like, I used to get WUTV Buffalo Television and Georgia PTV Television back in Toronto for some reason.
Wow.
Yeah, cultural connection.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyways, my sisters. Anyways, yourself. Hi.
Linda, and I'm also from Buffalo, New York.
Gotcha. Nice to meet you, Linda. Hey. Hi.
Keenan, Buffalo.
Gotcha.
Nina from Buffalo, but I live in Arizona.
That's good. I have a bunny named Nina. See the picture? I'll tell you later.
Oh, yeah.
She's really cute. Her ears are so long when she drinks water, her ears get wet. Anyways, Nina's a very pretty name. Anyway, nice to meet you. Hi.
Anna, Portugal, Porto.
Oh, I love Porto.
Yeah.
I applied for university there, and I did not get in.
It's difficult.
Yeah, I had 85 applicants and to 10 people. I was like 15. It was a great city, great wine. The Francesinha sandwich, a 2,000 calorie sandwich.
Yes.
Oh, obrigado. Anyways, thank you. Hi.
Marta, Portugal.
Thank you so much. Sorry, I broke it.
Hi, I'm Brenda.
Isn't the podcast about the guys who built the Sydney Opera House? Like this crazy genius guy who would like go away for like 3 months at a time. Like, I'm gonna go to Asia and get inspiration. Like, no, please work on this opera house.
Yes.
It's such a funny building. Anyway, hi.
I'm Cheryl from Melbourne, Australia.
Melbourne, you said? The coffee cafe.
It is.
From Shanghai, China. Oh, great, big city boy. Thank you very much.
I'm getting hot.
Thank you, Tyler.
Running up here.
Courtney from Clark and Ireland.
Sing-songy part, yeah. And then finally,
Jennifer.
yeah, Jennifer. The person who lost their ticket, are they back again? Yeah, they're back. They're back there. Whatever. Okay, it's all good. Anyways, good energy over there. So, we're gonna get started on this tour, and so to come to the practical business out of the way right now. Those little high quality tickets that you got, we're going to exchange those for the real tickets a little later on. People are wondering, like, what is this tour exactly? What have I paid for, right? It's an expensive tour. For that, I apologize. Most of the money goes towards paying for the castle itself, right? So you pay for two things today. One is the castle ticket, which is worth like £24. The other is paying get your guy, these fake companies, whatever, and then a bit of that goes to this tour. Right, so why I say this is that, you know, some people just join this tour because it's the only way they get a ticket to the castle. It's got this stupid 90-minute tour attached to it. If that is you, once you get your ticket, you are allowed to leave. There's no obligation to be on my tour today. I only have two rules on my tour. Don't get hit by a car. And give good energy. You want to be here. If you give me good energy, I'll return it onefold. That's the fair
guys.
Thank you. I just feel like I'm getting yelled at or something. I always assume I'm getting yelled at. It's the way I was raised. Anyway, so the point is, today's tour, about 90 minutes long, right? I want you to think of today's tour as the introductory 101 class to the Edinburgh Castle. None of the guides in the entire city are allowed to guide inside the museums, the galleries. Once you go inside, it's way too small. And so I would give yourself like an hour or an hour and a half after today's tour to kind of delve a little bit deeper. But what I intend to do, you know, back as a teacher, I want to teach you how to see the castle, how to read the castle, right? So there's a lot of stuff to talk about. Let's begin. The name, Edinburgh, tells you everything you need to know. Edin and Burra. Edin is Celtic, Gaelic, Welsh basically. It means a hillside. Burra is Berg, Anglo-Saxon German basically, kind of for a fortress. It's a hillside fortress. That's what it's called. That's what it is. The oldest part of Edinburgh is the castle, or more accurately, it is the dead volcano underneath the castle. The volcano died 350 million years ago, and it died much like Jimi Hendrix died. Sorry, strong imagery helps you remember things. He choked in its own vomit. This volcano, right, it throws up that lava, lands right back in the volcano again, creating a plug, a crag, killing the volcano. In the Ice Age, the ice glaciers move around this volcano, poking it out of the earth. There's a 90-degree cliff on 3 different sides, and behind it is a long, soft tail, which is the Royal Mile that we are on right now. And so it's essentially completely indefensible. Now, a few ideas. This is the longest continually inhabited place in all of Great Britain. 3,000 years they've been living on this hill in one way or another. It's also the most attacked and besieged castle in all of Britain, maybe even Europe. 26... Oh, tourist canceled. Oh, my coffee lesson here. How about that? 26 times this castle has been attacked, and it's. I thought it was finished my coffee. Yeah! 26 times it's been attacked, it's never been taken by direct force. So, instead of the idea of me explaining 3,000 years, instead of explaining 26 different battles, it's easier to just change your entire understanding of history and the world, right? That's better, right? And so, very first thing, understand a few kind of 4 ideas we're going to use to tie this together. The first idea of this tour is, what is a castle?
I'm supposed to be looking for Harris Tweed.
There's some castles in, say, Italy, right? Some rich Austrian guys.
That's also one of the cases on the no-go
right?
list.
The top is this stony defensive building. The bottom of the mile, we have the Palace of the Holyrood House. That has been a palace for the British royal family for the last 500 years. Whenever they're in Scotland, they stay in that palace. Except for Prince Andrew, he stays somewhere else for some reason. Google it, maybe. And also add Epstein. Anyway, the point is, the palace is built in the Renaissance because the castle is not a nice place to live, right? And so, which means for the last 500 years, this castle is, and I say is in the present tense, an active military base. Right, so the idea of today's tour is the idea of the layers of history living together, right? Because it's an active military base, that's why we had to meet down here and not up there, because the military is very specific about where tour groups can be found. Now, the other idea to talk about later on, but as you walk up, only imagine today that you are an invading foreign army, which as tourists, you are, right? I imagine it's not a nice day like today, so only imagine it's an average Scottish day, like dark and wet, and cold or rainy. You know, they're marching for days. There's no cobblestones here. It is all mud and human waste from your ankles up to your knees, right? You're wearing 30 pounds of heavy armor. It's uphill the entire way. You haven't eaten a good meal in weeks. If you're Scottish, for years. Hi-oh! But the point is that as we're trudging our way up the hill, this tour's a bit of a pain in the ass. Castles are designed to be a pain in the ass. That's why they do build them that way. So uphill we go. And as we get up there, I guess a bit narrow a little bit. Oh, excuse me. Oh, get out of my way. Get out of my way! Right? It's all by design to make it easier to shoot at you as you're approaching the castle. So as you're walking up, like, this sucks. That's the point, is to get you into character. So the plan is, I'll walk up to the castle, we're going to storm the gate, we're going to make our way to the top, to the royal palace, and be finishing about an hour and 15 or so minutes from now. Any questions about today's trip? Let's go through the tour.
Let's go, baby. Could have done without that half-hour diatribe, but okay. So I could have done without that half-hour diatribe, but okay.
And the whole time I'm thinking, like, no, he's not enjoying this already.
Nope. Like, I was feeling pretty good when we were walking. Like, I was like, all right, now my foot hurts for standing still for so long. Yeah, some people just need to learn when to shut up. If nobody's laughing at your jokes, take a hint. Am I wrong, though?
Like that story. We were on that yesterday.
You go hop on our bus.
Do you want to ditch the tour guide as soon as we get our ticket?
No, we'll stick with him for a second, see if it's actually any good. And if it is, we'll keep going. If not, we'll do our own thing.
We'll be back. We'll be back.
You want to grab a bus tour on the way back?
Want to take the yellow road?
There's the green one. We didn't take the green one.
That one stops right in front of our hotel.
Does it really? Oh, perfect. We'll go flag them down.
Oh, yeah. Well, we'll go in. I'm sure there's a place to buy them around here.
We'll check the list. We're moving.
So you buy them.
Huh?
Yeah.
What about this?
Baby, I need you to slow down. There's a whole bunch of people behind us from our tour.
Because I know
Here's the witchery. There's Obscura.
Already. The Edinburgh castle at the time was crumbling and old and dilapidated, so this busted old castle, and she said, "Hey!" My impression of Queen Victoria. In spirit, right? A bossy, mean old German lady. Hey! Why do you make it look more like a castle, why don't you? Add some portcullises, add some cannons, some right? Because the idea of what is a castle, man, she wants to make this castle look more like what a castle is supposed to look like in your imagination, right? Because understood the final idea of this tour, the idea of what is power. Right? Power sometimes is the illusion of power, right? It's the appearance of power. And Victoria understood this idea. You can't have the country, the most powerful military on earth with crumbling infrastructure.
That's why I was trying to take pictures on the way up. I was like, we gotta come to here anyway.
But the point is, she wanted us to look more to impress tourists. And so this front gatehouse is sort of 8 it's not. What is real is really what that's yours. And same thing with those cannons up there are all purely decorative naval cannons. They've never been fired before. They're once again not even. Finally, want to talk about while we're out here. Anyway, do you have the real tickets for this tour? Because they're supposed to be coming over to give me the tickets. I don't know where they went. What else is it? Point is, at the front there, these two statues. Actually, come a little bit closer. Come a little bit closer. Take a look.
That's far away.
Guys, we need tickets! 1 second. Whatever, okay, come on. I'm sure they'll come over, I'm sure. Okay, so, you have that, but not everyone has that. Right, so, I'm talking about like the these tickets. Yeah, these need to replace those, which I'm sure they'll come. Anyway, so over here, these two statues are of the two heroes of the Scottish Wars of Independence. Again, 26 wars, not cover all of them. But these wars of independence are incredibly important for Scottish history, so we'll come back over and over again. There's actually 3 wars. They begin in 1286 and last until 1340. Right? They begin with King Alexander of Scotland, recently married a young bride, and he wants to make a little prince with her, if you know what I mean. Problem is, his wife is in like the neighboring castle down the road, like Princess Peach and Mario. And he wants to go visit her, but it's like a dark and stormy night, typical Scottish night. And his advisor said, like, please, my king, do not go tonight. You put yourself at risk, which means you put everyone at risk. But sometimes the desire to create a little prince clouds your judgment, right? I've made my worst decisions trying to create a little prince, and I never even made one. And so he rides out to meet his wife, falls off his horse, and breaks his neck. And now the entire country is screwed. Monarchy, the perfect system. And so the various warlords of Scotland argue with each other over who will be the next king. It comes down to 2 men. The first is the guy on the left, Robert the Bruce. The second is a guy with no stature, a guy named John Balliol. Robert and John meet up. They can't pick who will be the king. And so they bring in King Edward I of England to help them pick, adjudicate. And King Edward says, how about I'm the king? That was not the deal.
Oh.
And so Edward I becomes the king, right? John Balliol becomes the puppet king. People in Scotland are not happy about this. So in desperation, they make an alliance with Scotland's oldest enemy, with England's oldest enemy, with France, right? And so now it's called the Old Alliance, and now England is surrounded on both sides by their enemies. They are understandably angry about this, and so they invade Scotland. Guy on the left, Robert the Bruce, he puts his head down. This is none of my business. That's the Kermit meme, that's right. So I'm trying to be hip with the kids, you know? And so the other guy puts his head up, the guy on the right, and that is William Wallace, Braveheart, from beloved 90s film, Braveheart, with beloved 90s actor, Mel Gibson. He's very beloved by all. What? If I missed something, I don't follow the news. That film is not super accurate. First of all, Braveheart did not wear blue and white makeup. The ancient Celtic people in the Roman times, the Pictish people, pictures in their face. But also, William Wallace wasn't Braveheart. The guy on the left, Robert the Bruce, that was the real Braveheart. He's the man who defeats the English in the Battle of Bannockburn in 1314 and makes this an independent kingdom. And so this, I know you're on vacation. If you remember one year today, 1314 should be that year. It's also the year Robert the Bruce burned the entire castle down. For one building. So basically everything they built, like the castle, was built after 1314. I'll tell you about why he spared one building a little later on. In the meantime, I don't know what has happened right now. This has never happened before. My comics always just go missing. Okay, I'm gonna go over here towards the line. We'll get your tickets, then we'll go inside. All right?
The ice cream truck's gone.
Aw.
I was looking forward to that when
No,
we
it's
got
right
out. We moved. I was looking to see if they had water, but I don't think they do. I think it's just ice cream.
You want to go check?
I looked kind of did glance. Oh, we gotta walk. Ooh. Oh my goodness. So vain. No.
Living that influencer life.
No, we're moving again. Get in there, picture.
Getting the tickets in the castle. The castle is, well, it's run by the British military, right? So it's a very efficient institution that's very well run. So, any minute now. Two things I want to point out. Behind me over here is a moat. It's a dry moat. There's no water. Go check it out. You can fact check me.
I
No
love
water.
it.
Go ahead.
We're
See
ruining
for
that
yourself.
picture.
Any water in there?
No.
Cool. Wow. Believe me. Anyway, it's a dry moat, right? There's all these details that Queen Victoria is like, hey, you should have a moat here. You know, Edinburgh is an unusual town and is not built on a body of water, a river. It's built away from the water on a dead volcano. And the lack of water in the Edinburgh Castle is this castle's greatest weakness. It is a stone seal. There's only one source of water, and there's the well inside the castle. Now, we're gonna go inside. You got a ticket?
I'm going in, baby.
Come on over, you exchange your little raffle tickets for the real tickets, and we'll go inside very, very momentarily.
Oh, B.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. You've got yours, Chris, don't worry.
Yeah.
There you go. Thank you very much. Thank you.
You go good? Okay. You're good. Yep, we're good. In that case, it's gonna scan your ticket right here to take like 10 seconds. It was me right behind the line over here.
See.
It's just me. Hold on.
Almost we're going inside Evan. Come on over. One last thing. One last little thing. I like it so much. Little plaque here. Yeah. This plaque says, "Welcome to Canada." That's right. In the 1600s, they discovered Canada. I know there's no one living there. How convenient. And the first thing they do when they show up, they start selling Canada. The problem is to buy land in Canada, you have to go all the way across the ocean on a boat and pick up the soil with your bare hands. Who wants to go all the way to Canada? Not me. My family lives there. I'm trying to avoid them. And so what they did is legally turn this little land into Canada. So you can pick up some soil here and purchase land that you've never even stepped foot on, never even seen. And that's how they invented Airbnb. Now, so we're going inside right now, but last thing, remember, there's invading foreign army, right? So this area here is called the Esplanade. They call it an esplanade, it's a French word. Now, Esplanade, this means you're officially demarcated, you're an arrow firing distance. Right, friends? They will just leave the front gatehouse open. Say, come on in. Because once you're inside, you're now within the killing zone. It's also to be fired at from all angles. It's also to have slings with rocks be slung at you. It's also enough to have cauldrons of boiling hot oil and water and sand be poured onto you into the holes in whatever armor you have. And so it's actually the deadliest part of the castle is inside there. And so as we're walking up, here's the fun fact. There's only 5 places I'm allowed to stand and talk inside the castle. Otherwise, they yell at me. Just like my father. And so, anyways. I visited him last week, but I regret it. Anyway, so as you're going up, let's keep in mind, I want to show you something else. There's the next gate called the Portcullis Gate. A portcullis is one of those closing cage things, right? So you see the portcullis, you'll see a heavy set of doors. You'll also see 2 extra set of hinges. There are 4 doors on that gate, and that was never been breached by direct force. And the final thing, as I walk and talk, I'll show you a long set of stairs called the Long Stairs, or the Lang Stairs. I'll explain all of that once we're safely ensconced inside the castle. Let's do it, my friends.
Go to your zippers.
Oh, thank you very much. I was laughing
hills.
So there's no that people's going.
The first sea we come into, I am sitting in it.
Door here, more hinges here, portcullis up here.
Gotta go quick.
And here are those long stairs, the lang stairs. I'll explain this later on, we won't get yelled at.
Yeah.
Come on this side if you don't mind. I don't get yelled at, so. Yeah, it's good stuff. Let's go here with a bright sun and oh, down here, don't mind. How old is this castle? Great question. Thanks for asking. It's complicated answer, right? So that front gatehouse, like I said, 1888. That portcullis gate for 1570. This R
So post office box.
1730s. Those right here were built in the 1810s, brought here in the 1840s. This is a complicated answer. Now, the first thing I'll mention, the long stairs, the lang stairs that go up and to the right over there. They have just a long colonnade at the end of the Jacobite War. We'll explain that later on. In 1746. And so soon after that, you look at, by the way, I was thinking about this. You know that meme, the Anakin and Padme meme, whatever? It's like, oh, no land battles in 1746. Must have been pretty peaceful, huh? Must have been pretty peaceful, huh? Oh. The point is that the castle loses a lot of its strategic value as it kind of starts falling apart. That's why 100 years later, Queen Victoria's like, hey, that's some cannon. And so these cannons over here are all purely decorative naval cannons, never been fired before. What is wrong with these cannons? First of all, they have no fuses, can't light them. Also, they cannot be aimed up or down because ships are already moving quite a bit up and down already, and you don't want things to be having two different fulcrum points. Right? Second thing, or third thing, they have wheels, right? Because you don't want things tied down too tightly on a ship. You can fire a cannon tied to a ship, it'll destroy it, right? Things need to roll and move around. But if you're inside a castle, it's dangerous. The gun could literally backfire and kill who's standing behind it. It doesn't matter. It's never been fired before. However, there is a functioning gun in the castle. You can see it over here. This giant green gun over here. Or as Americans say, this average-sized green gun over here. This version you see over here is a 105mm artillery gun. It was brought here in 2001, but they've had a cannon here since the 1860s, 1862, called the 1 o'clock gun. Fired every day. Oh, about 1 o'clock, you missed it, suckers. As the ships out in the Leaf Harbor could tell exactly what time it is, because they used to have something called the time ball. A ball that was lowered every day at 1 o'clock, but you normally couldn't see it be lowered because of all the fog here called the har. And so they added the 1 o'clock gun fired every day. However,
How do you
last
know
land
those?
battle was 1746. Land battle, but in 1916, in the First World War, a German Zeppelin bombed Edinburgh.
No, those
It
are
took out some
official
of the
vehicles.
ships in the Leeds Harbor, angering the locals. The sort of whiskey distillery, angering the locals. One bomb remaining, it sets its sights on the castle, a very bombable target. Partially for its symbolic value, but also it's an active military base. It is a legitimate target to bomb. And so the airship starts drifting across the bay towards the city. And can you imagine how terrifying this would be? Imagine you saw an airship out there today. Yeah, right? Imagine it's 1916, right? You've never seen an airplane before. You've never heard a radio before. Right? You don't have plumbing or a toilet in your house. And now suddenly there's a silent, floating, gas-powered German death machine dropping bombs on your city. This is science fiction. People inside the castle, they start getting scared. And they look around. Was there an anti-aircraft gun around here? No, it's 1916. And so they grab the ceremonial 1 o'clock cannon and they aim that at the Zeppelin and fire blank, empty rounds at the airship. And the German pilots are so scared of the loud noise. They say, "Oh my God, oh Peterson," and slowly drift away. The most popular story of the First World War. We'll get more into kind of World War history a little later on down the steps or ramp. Other questions about sword fighting or being left-handed or airships or anything? All right, I guess we'll go down this way.
I'm too tall for the rail. I can't reach it. Does tour ever stop at seats?
Cheers.
One over there. Huh? Oh.
No, I don't like it. People look over here, you like it, sit down, I don't like it. You like your dad. Whatever. Alright, we're now in the hospital square. It's a square at the hospital. I think I paid for a tour guide today. It was built in 1897, so relatively modern. And it was used mainly in the 2 World Wars. In the First World War, the hospital mainly treated soldiers that suffered from shell shock. We now call post-traumatic stress disorder. Wars are pretty stressful. I describe the First World War as an obliteratingly traumatizing war, right? Because men would have explosives going off above their head for every hour of the day for months and months and months. And so they would come here to the relative peace and quiet of the Edinburgh. The Second World War, this hospital treated soldiers returning to the front. And this hospital also famously treated a German pilot who was shot down off the coast of Scotland in 1939. The first pilot to be shot down in the war. And that pilot ended up marrying his Scottish nurse. Whoa! That'd be a good movie, huh? Like I said, that guy must have been very handsome. Just getting shot down, the best thing that ever happened to him. He misses the entire Second World War. He marries his nurse and lives happily ever after in Glasgow for the rest of his life. What's the moral of the story? I don't know. Bomb Edinburgh, you'll be fine. No, wait, don't do that. Anyway, I'm going to tell you of World War history. Behind me is a statue. Remember last week that looked like Joseph Stalin?
It does look like Stalin.
I went to Stalin's hometown, by the way, in Georgia. You know the young Stalin? Handsome guy. He's a hot guy. All right. He's like a He's a guy, sexy bank robber. Yeah, he was a bank robber. He robbed banks. Yeah. Anyway.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, well, probably, if you see the statue and think Joseph Stalin, I've done my job today. Like, this guy probably killed as many people as Stalin did. So Earl Haig is known for two things. He's known first as the commander of the British ground forces in the First World War, also known as the Butcher Haig, depending on who you ask and when. I think the First World War, if you think about it at all, you might think of it as a war where some mustachioed general sends like hundreds of thousands of working class teenage boys towards their death to get like 1 meter of land in like Belgium. That's Earl Haig. Earl Haig had 4 million casualties under his command. He was the mastermind behind the Battle of the Somme, at the time the bloodiest conflict in human history, right? 400,000 casualties, less than a month, to get 1 meter of land in Belgium. And no, I like Belgium, but it's not worth it. And so, at the time of the war and afterwards, the propaganda machine was in full force. He was this great hero. And the fog of war goes away, as it does. Puts more books and biographies and memoirs about this guy, and he gets the name the Butcher Haig that he has today. I want you to think of an idea of the today's tour of what is power. Right? A statue is a physical manifestation of power. Right? It takes money to pay for it. It takes political connections to put it somewhere. And without even thinking about it, subconsciously, I think we see a statue, and it's a good looking statue, right? Ooh, this guy must have been a good guy. One of the worst human beings in history, right? Because not only does it cause millions of deaths in this country all around Europe, right? The war, they win the war. What do they win? They win putting 1 billion people under colonialism for another 30 years. They draw the modern Middle East and the Second World War, right? So that's what they won in the end.
The battery dead switch batteries.
Anyway, on this note of war history, go learn more about these wars. Inside here is the War Museum. This used to be an ordnance storehouse. Ordnance is where things will blow up. In 1753, in the 1930s, it is the biggest military museum in all of Britain. So 300 years of British military history. Things you might expect to see, the Red Coat Revolutionary Wars, muskets from the Napoleonic Wars, big scary gas masks from the First World War, but also gas masks from Belfast 1990s, right? Also desert uniforms used in Afghanistan in 2018, right? The British military is an active institution, right? They're still fighting around the world, and this place is run by the military, right? And so it's such a certain point of view of their own history. Last thing I'll say, I think, almost, it's interesting who we choose to display in our history, right? So we got this guy, Earl Haig. If you were against the war, or the protest against this massive carnage and loss of human life, if you protested, they would lock you in the dungeon of the Edinburgh Castle, and your name would be John McClane from Die Hard. Wait, no, not from Die Hard. But John McClane was a Glasgow school teacher and anti-war activist, and they locked him in the dungeons as a political prisoner in the 20th century. You'll not find any plaques in the Glasgow School Association on behalf of him. And the final thing I'll talk about, truly, is inside this museum. There's a few things. There's this painting here, the Thin Red Line, the original. You can see the red coat jackets as well as the kilts, the Highlander kilts. We'll get to that a little later on. Better than this painting, better than all the guns and the gas masks. Best thing inside here is the elephant's toenail. Yeah, that's right. In the 1800s, the British Empire seized the island of Ceylon, where tea comes from, now known as Sri Lanka. By the way, go to Sri Lanka. Oh, so nice. Lovely people, great beaches, good fruit, vegetables, very good weather, good place for elephants, unlike the Edinburgh Castle, right? By the way, this is like a nice day in Scotland, right? I will say, in mid-September, the heat wave did creep up to Scotland, and it hit 24 degrees Celsius. It's like 85 Fahrenheit. They called it the Hunger Games for gingers. And so they brought this elephant to live in the castle, and away from all the bananas and other elephants, right? He's just sitting there eating porridge all day, walking on cobblestones, getting rained on, instead of feeding the elephants beer. And the elephant developed a drinking problem, and it soon died of alcoholism and loneliness. And that's how you know he was truly a Scottish elephant. Anyway, so if you're wondering why there's an elephant's toenail in this castle, now you know. They got some little cocktail party store you can share later on. That one's for free. Any questions about elephants or war crimes? Yeah, around the month. So, we're going to go back up around the corner and get a really lovely view. By the way, after the tour, if you want to get a nice view up here, you can do so. A different nice view up around the corner up here.
There you go.
Okay.
Huh?
Okay.
That'll be better. Yeah. Allow myself a little more time.
You want to abandon the tour, you learning stuff.
It's all right. Well, one thing good about the tour is that they know where to go. Not the wind, not the hill. Does it?
Ooh, fun.
I'm guessing this itself is the Edinburgh Castle up right there. Here, we're moving this way.
To the no-yell zone.
Okay.
Anyway, so. So from out here we can see, you know, a nice view, a good understanding. The body of water out there is called the and then on the south, you keep an eye on the important border with England. That's why they've been living on this hill for 3,000 years. Let's discuss the buildings that we have. These are triangular buildings over here. Storehouses and cartwheels. I'm probably literally wood art. It is now at the Red Coat Cafe. It's the only place for food in the castle. It's okay. It's nice to meet you. What else? Passing around. This is my lovely stone building over here. This is the governor's house. It's 1742. Now it's more of a symbolic member of the British military. The post is currently held by a man named Alistair Bruce. He claims he is descended from Robert the Bruce, but I don't believe him. I'm not sure all the time. Usually Americans are like, I'm King James' great. Now you're not. Now you're probably not. But he still lives here, by the way. Thanks to himself. The whole pandemic, lucky guy. By the way, we got a liter of free beer every day. Honestly, a lot me up with that. That sounds like a lot of fun. I only have the fires all day, right? They also imprisoned prisoners in the American War of Independence, including John Paul Jones, that's right, the bassist in Led Zeppelin. No, wait, sorry, no. The Scottish founder of the American Navy, who maybe played bass Led Zeppelin, I don't know. They also imprisoned a 5-year-old drummer boy who was captured at the Battle of Waterloo, or Trafalgar, I should say. And not just to play the drums, I guess. They terrible the drums. And also, again, I mentioned twice now, they locked up political prisoners in the 20th century. It should be mentioned twice because it is a good scene if they did that. So you can go down there, you can see what an 18th century prison life looked like. It is these moldy beds, pieces of cheese, and nice seats. That looks like my bedroom, basically. So if you want to see what prison life looked like, it's down there, you can check it out. And then the final thing I want to talk about is the Highlander Museum, and then I'll get into it. Okay, this one thing right here. This one thing right here is called the New Barracks of Napoleonic Wars. The novelist Sir Walter Scott made time but it's actually a 6-story building. It goes to be
terrible place to stop on a steep hill like this.
Used to be 100 living on each floor. One bathroom on each floor. Yikes. Honestly, lock me in the break. Solitary confinement sounds pretty good to me. Connected are the Highlander Museum. On the left-hand side of this museum, there's a blue sign on the left there, and that is the Royal Scots Dragoon Guards Museum. Here, I'm in that touchy territory right now, and so I'm being kind of careful how I talk about it. Some of my children once complained that my children was, quote, too woke. As I try and not be woke. So the British Empire is pretty cool, huh? Non-woke thing to say. Let's back up, shall we? Have you guys seen Outlander? Gotta see Outlander. Yeah, there we go. Thank you for the tourism department. Jacobite Wars, right? So, after Robert Bruce dies, remember the first independent king, the Stuart family takes over. And the Stuarts run Scotland as an independent king for hundreds of years. There's lots of Stuarts. 7 of them are Jameses. 2 Charles, 1 was killed. There's 1 Mary Queen of Scots, only 1. There can only be 1. But the point is, eventually, 1603, the Tudor family, Queen Elizabeth, she dies with no children. She's known as the Virgin Queen, which was my nickname back in high school. Hi-oh! Tough crowd, that's a good joke, guys. Come on, that's a good joke. That's a good joke. I thought it was a great joke. The point is, like me, she had no kids. And so now the Stuart family takes over. James I of Scotland becomes James the VI of Scotland becomes James I of England, Ireland, and Scotland. They run Great Britain for 5 years, 1688, and they're kicked out, and then they invite a Dutch guy to become the king. What? Named William of Orange, which is why you have the Orangemen. These very angry and violent Scottish Northern Irish people. My grandfather was an Orangeman. I'm allowed to say that. I talked about America. You have Hillbilly. St. William of the appellation Hillbilly. That's a fun fact, huh?
Oh.
Took an hour, we finally got one.
Nice.
And so the Stuarts are banished and forced to live in Rome and France for the West They come back to Scotland to retake their throne. They try 5 times. They're defeated 5 times. James, and Jacobus in Latin for James. Point I'm trying to make here. The Highlanders were largely loyal to the Stuarts. Not always, because they're Catholic, and because and so the Highlanders were they were ethnically cleansed. So the Highland citizens literally kicked people off their land. They took their way of life away from them. They had kind of almost like a communal farming situation. Destroy all the farms, destroy all the forests, kick them off their land, force them to live in the cities like Glasgow, but also all around the world, like Australia, to New Zealand, South Africa, Nova Scotia, right, New Scotland, right? Their language, the Gaelic language is banned, right? Their kilts and their tartans are banned. The bagpipes are banned. Yes! I hate them, right. I hate them. By the way, you know what they call the bagpipes in Dutch? In German? The Dudelsack. My point is, my real point is that these people, the Highlanders, their identities were stripped away from them. And then the British Empire says, one of particular language, your kilts, because one place you can do that in the British Army. Let's think about it. What does it mean to defeat someone? It means you kill the father and then raise the son as your own to die for you. Now, these Highlanders fought for their independence against the British Empire, and now they've been killed, brought back from the dead, to go crush other independence movements all over the world. And these Highlanders' aggression and fighting spirit is now being used against the Britain's enemies. So what I'm trying to say is these dragoons, units of these Highlanders, they're called dragoons, used to ride around on horseback with rifles, and they had a dragon's fire coming out of their guns. So you might know them as the bad guys from the Nation with Mel Gibson, or the bad guys from Opening a History. Because if you go in there, once again, it's run by the dragoons. It's interesting. They're showing off all the things they've done. And they're showing you, like, look at all the places that we've been to in the 19th, 20th centuries. And they're kind of like, look how cool it is. And I've been looking places. And at some point, you might see what I'm trying to say. So you have places like Sudan, places like Libya, places like Yemen, places like Korea, places like British Palestine, Kuwait, all right, places like Egypt, right? All places that I have seen conflict in my lifetime. Places like Afghanistan in the 1880s and the 2000s. Right? The dragoons were there for both because they're around. Right? Dragoon doesn't mean cavalry, doesn't mean horseback, it means jeeps and vehicles.
What are they
right?
dragoons doing?
Dragoons, they're in the Middle East, in the 1800s, and in our lifetime as well. And
If they're so great, why couldn't they do it?
It's just that I argue you can learn a lot about the way the world is just back then, why it is the way it is today. Because you can see all these conflict zones that have been conflict zones for a long time. These caves, the dragoons, all the caves of them looking very cool, very heroic, going around shooting people, going around killing people and stuff, right? If you cave one of these places, you do not want the dragoons coming to your house, right? They're not there to build bridges. They're to do one thing, they do it very, very well, right? And so all to say, colonialism, right? It's a controversial subject. If you disagree with what I'm talking about or don't like what I'm talking about, that is okay. That's okay. I'm not here to tell you what to think. I'm asking you just
We could have done without this
section.
We could have done without this section.
If you
It
do
serves no
get to talk
purpose.
about today, we can talk about tea now or after the tour. I want the person to argue with me in person and to have some random confidential advice and say how too long. So if you got too long, you just tell me. I will listen to you. Anyway, one more stop, two more stops left. We're going to go inside Inner Citadel, and our final stop will be at the Royal Palace.
Oh. I'm taking it wide because that's how I'm stepping. Just walk, baby. I'm taking it wide because that's how I'm stepping. If you're like moving over into me. Yes. Man. I keep feeling like my things got loose.
I've literally just had to
That was a good sit. That was a good sit.
dem nächsten Kriegsschlacht.
You're getting it. Alright. So, one last time. Don't cry. Around the Crown Square. There are four buildings. Those are the least interesting building. Make your way up from there. Come maybe closer, actually. That's right. I want to pull it. So, over here is the Queen Anne's building. It was built as a barracks for soldiers. It's now a high tea room for rich people, and usually it's closed. The end. Over here we have the front of the War Memorial. Now, on the right-hand side, the national animal of England, the lion. The left-hand side, national animal of Scotland, the unicorn. Is that right here? The only animal is magical enough and strong enough to defend Scotland against her enemies. And by enemies, I mean England. Hi-oh! Because what can beat up a lion? A unicorn, I guess? This unicorn is lacking a horn, which is a critical detail of a unicorn, if you ask me. I want to see a more traditional horny unicorn. You can see one over here on this wall. Now, this building over here is the Great Hall, built between 1503 and 1513. One of my favorite buildings in the castle, once again, during the Renaissance, right? They're moving away from the old medieval Gothic stony world, more towards a kind of modern Mediterranean Europe. This square is supposed to look like an Italian piazza. Yeah, okay. It's not Delisio, I'll say that. But it was a great hall, an enormous feasting hall, because what is power? Sometimes power comes from the barrel of a gun. That's what Chairman Mao once said. Sometimes power is a popularity contest, also known as democracy, right? The Stuarts and the Renaissance, they wanted to show that they are modern, sophisticated, educated, cultured monarchs, right? They have good food, they have good culture, good music, they're elegant, they're, they're French, basically. They're elegant. And so there's these amazing feasts that would happen inside. Now, once again, so many of these things have been reused and reused and reused. The only really original part of that is inside is the vaulting. It's called hammer beam vaulting, which is to say it's an old Norwegian ship design. It's like the hull of a ship. It's basically wooden beams that have been... Okay, no one's getting married, that's fine. But these wooden beams literally wedged that are holding up their own weight. They say you could take it out and it would float in the water like a ship's hull. I don't know, I haven't tried it. That said, everything's been reused. In 1650, Oliver Cromwell took the Edinburgh Castle. Killed the king, by the way, and not a big lover of tradition, turned it into storage for soldiers and guns and stuff. And 200 years later, 1840s, Queen Victoria is like, yay! It's a stupid joke, but you know what I'm saying now. She's like, hey, make it look more medieval, why don't ya? And so all that medieval stuff, the axes and swords, are all once again from the 1840s. But this idea of these layers of history, and the back wall on the right-hand side, inside, I can't see, a little hole in the wall, and that hole is called a laird's lug, or a lord's ear. When the king would have his grand feasts, he would like leave the room for a minute and then use little holes in the walls to spy at their guests to hear what they're saying about it. Don't do it, by the way. It's like reading your own reviews. Don't do it. And so that was there for many centuries until the 1980s, when Soviet Premier Mikhail Gorbachev did a state visit to the Edinburgh Castle. And when he got here, before he got here, the KGB did a security sweep to find security issues. And guess what? Secret holes in the walls are definitely security issues. And so it was the Soviet KGB who sealed off the laird's lugs of the Great Hall in the 1980s. The final building, that's one behind me, is the Royal Palace. And the earlier question of what is a castle, man, versus what is a palace, man, right? Around the same time, the Renaissance, that they build the Palace of the Holyrood House, because as you can tell, like, it's hard to get up here, it's windy, it's rainy, a little water, right? And so that is where the royals would live. Now, very famously, Mary Queen of Scots used to live in the palace. I don't have time to tell you her story. It is fascinating. She was the Queen of Scotland, but also married to the dead King of France, so could be also granddaughter of the King of England. And so she plays her cards right. She could be the Queen of Scotland, England, and France. But like myself, she's a terrible taste in partners. And so, also fun fact, by the way, as a woman in the 1500s, she was 6 feet tall. Terrifying, beautiful redhead. Anyways, she was living in the palace, and one night her jealous ex-husband thinks she's cheating on him, bursts into her room and stabs her secretary 52 times right in front of her. There's still a blood stain on the ground where that happened. That's Mary. That's when she moved to the castle, right? Because palaces are comfortable and open. That's she's afraid of being murdered, and so she hides inside the Edinburgh castle in the palace. And see over here it says 1566. This is when and where she gives birth to her only son, James VI, who becomes James I, who helps write the King James Bible, who helps found Jamestown in America. Probably gay, by the way, fun fact. But the point is, he was born here. And he becomes King of England as well. He says, bye Scotland, bye, I still love you, bye. He comes back once. But after King James, monarchs spend no real time living in this castle and becomes the military barracks, that it is today. The final thing inside here, right now, are the crown jewels. Right now the crown is actually being cleaned. The crown jewel of Scotland were first used in Mary Queen of Scots when she was 6 days old. He had to hold the crown over her head. It's just a baby. Monarchy, the perfect system. But also inside here is something called the Stone of Destiny. Before I do my final story, I got my kind of closing business out of the way right now. First bit of business, let's just say thanks for coming, thanks for staying. Beautiful day today, I guess, sort of. If you like today's tour, there's a few nice things you can do for me. If you would like to, leaving a tip is appreciated. I have a little card reader. That said, it's an expensive tour, an expensive country, an expensive world, so feel no obligation to do that whatsoever. Another thing you can do for me for free, you can leave me a nice review. It helps both financially and it helps emotionally. I'm not gonna lie, my friends, about a month ago on my birthday, I got the worst review of my 7-year career. It's one of these things where like 30 seconds in, I'm like, man, this seems to be going poorly. And about half an hour in, I'm like, people seem to hate me. And I was correct. This lady hated me. She said I, quote, yelled at a child. Not true. I love children. She said I, quote, I hate the bagpipes. I did say that. They're annoying. She said I, quote, none of my jokes are funny. 2 or 3 of my jokes are rather droll. My mom thinks my jokes are very funny. So you want to write a review, it really does help me out. A little QR code you can scan right here. Also, tomorrow, for a different company, I'm doing a Harry Potter walking tour. I wear a cape, I've got a wand. Come along if you want to come to that one. Also, not too related, but also in my pocket here, don't mop shit. I have some business cards. What are they for? That's none of your business. I'm kidding. Let's get my name and contact info over here in the future. Want some more tours? Also, I have a photography page, taking photos for 5 years. They were good for 1 year. But if you want to see, I came back from Bulgaria 2 days ago. I was in Berlin 2 weeks ago, in Malta 2 weeks from now. If you want to see the things I see, it's just for free. There's no upsell, there's no money involved. It's just the thing I make for the love of doing it. And finally, if you have any questions with anything at all, you can hang around here as long as you like. I have no life. Okay, and that's the business. Goodbye, business. Okay. Last story. The Stone of Destiny. Now it ties together some of these ideas, right? These ideas of what is real, what is power. So the stone, it dates back from Bible times. It comes from the Holy Land. Nah, they still are from Ireland. From the 800s onwards, when Scottish monarchs would get coronated, this stone would they ceremonially put their feet. And then Wars of Independence, they kill William Wallace. They take the stone, bring it down to London, and when the English monarchs get coronated, that's where they sit. And Scotland's like, ew, get your butt off our footstone, give that back. And King Edward says, nah, when England and Scotland are getting along nicely, we'll return your stone. And so, 654 years later, Christmas Eve of 1950. 4 nationalist students in Glasgow are pretty angry about this. They drive down to London, they break into Westminster Abbey, and they steal the Stone of Destiny. They put it in their cars, they're driving it back to Scotland, turn the radio on, and they realize, oh no, the British government has sealed off the entire Scottish border just to catch these stone thieves. As they argue back and forth, what do we do with the stone? Oh no, what do we do? They drop the stone and break it in half. Now they have 2 stones of destinies. And so they bury it in a farmer's field for like 3 months. They kind of forget about it for a bit, dig it back up, turn to Scotland, glue it back together. They say, hey everybody, we have finally returned the Stone of Destiny. Everyone's like, great, cool, rock and roll. One minor question, where did you get that from? Yeah, we stole it from Westminster Abbey. That is the most illegal thing you can possibly do, right? You cannot keep that stone, so return it back down to London. The story's not done. 1996, the 700th anniversary of this stone being stolen. The eve of a huge election in Great Britain between John Major's Conservative Tory Party and Tony Blair's up-and-coming New Labour Party, right? And John Major is looking at a defeat. He's desperate for Scottish votes. This country has not voted for a conservative government since like 1963. Much more left-wing up here, free education. And so John Major thinks, how can I get some left-wing votes? Can I help poor people? No. What I can do is I can legally return that stone. If I do that, Scotland will be so grateful. They'll vote for the Tory government for the next 100 years. And so John Major returned that stone, and they do not vote for the Conservative government. I like this story, because in the end it's like, who cares? It's just a rock. Chill out. No. Things are as valuable as we think they are valuable. Right? We put meaning into things, and that makes them meaningful. Right? It's like money. It's just a piece of paper. Let's give it to your tour guide. You don't need it. No, it's the value that we put into that money, right? And so likewise, this stone is a political chess piece that's been moving back and forth for 1,000 years. And it's still moving back and forth. When King Charles III was coronated in London like 6 months ago or whatever, he took the stone down to Westminster and he sat his old butt on it. Everyone here is like, hey, you're gonna give that back, right? They did, but we were not sure if we're getting our stone back or not. This is my final point. This idea of the living history, of the history that is still being made, right? It reminds me of what the American writer William Faulkner once said, that the past is not really dead. It's not even past. We are still living in the bones, the consequences of our own history. And just think, like I said, this history is still being made. And someday, my great-great-grandson, Ryan Jr., my little prince, will give tours to your great-great-grandchildren through this castle's 22nd century history and all the climate wars that we fought over this place. In the meantime, 3,000 years has come to an end, as has this tour. Thank you very much for coming and have a lovely time in the castle. Oh.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you very much.
Get one of those.
Bash them all around the edge.
cover it in epoxy or something. There's no guards. Little mini cannon.
Get you one of those.
You gotta go over there and get in front of it, honey.
I'm in front of it.
Why does it switch to auto ISO?
Imagine having that. Imagine having that.
Yeah.
You get it? Yeah.
What is it?
All right, my love. Where to now? there, baby. Oops. That sign says no photography. There's not actually anything in them. That one does. The book back there didn't actually have anything in it. No phones, no cameras. Oh. Oh. You already got pictures of the cool stuff anyway. Let's get out of here. The security guy walked right past me and got a fucking GoPro strapped to my chest, you know? Like... Huh?
This way, or do you want to sit
Let's go this way. I am being conscious of when this Tylenol might wear off, because when it does, it's going to be hell. You know what I mean? I would have rather had a Scottish guide. Up to that chapel? I don't know if we're allowed.
Yeah,
Just...
up there.
Oh. Yeah, we can.
We gotta go down and then we go back around. Exit this way. Oh, those are the long stairs.
Yeah, the laying stairs.
David's Tower. There's the
going, baby?
No, it's down there, isn't it?
You trying to get lower?
I would not expect that.
This. This.
Huh?
I said there's boots.
Yeah, right over there. Yeah. Please be careful, there's strong winds. You'll walk up these steps.
I want to take a picture with you at the cannon.
Oh, baby, I'm fine. Okay, let's go take pictures of Cannon. Let's make you happy. Baby. I don't see any gravestones. Oh, there they are. They're along the wall.
I want to bury our puppets here.
Baby. You almost tripped those Chinese people. You kept stepping back as they were trying to go around you, and you forced them onto those bumpy rocks behind you. The guy almost fell. Yeah, that's actually our hotel. top.
Is that it right there?
No, wait, that's not it.
I think it's the smaller one next to it.
I don't know. We'll figure it out. Moving on. It's crazy how far you can see.
I know.
Like you can see for miles and miles and miles.
Pretty sure that's it.
Like, look at that. You can see the highlands out there, and all right, let's.
One quick picture.
Okay,
Both of us.
okay.
You have to.
There you go, baby.
Thank you.
You guys in St. Margaret's Chapel. Oh, wow, baby.
Le drapeau de l'Argentine.
Take a picture of this view.
So I go out that way. You know, the other day I walked down from near here, and I was right. I was on the road. I'm trying to go. There's little stairs to go down to Haymarket, not the ones up here that will take you down. Grassmarket. Yeah. So I was on that long stretch, and the castle was above me. Which way would I go? Because that's near my hotel.
So as you go straight out here, if you can see the big spire sticking up, the big one.
Yeah.
Just before there.
Excuse me.
In the quiz.
Lite kapell.
Sorry. That's a good picture. There's a book over there. Pamphlet. Take that.
Oh goodness.
Yeah. I love you with all my heart, baby. You have no awareness of what's going on around you. None. Go.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's no room in there. Maybe people were just piling in. It's like, hey, there's no room in here.
I know.
Like,
I was waiting for people to let me out, and they just kept on coming in.
luckily we got in there when we did. We'll put it in the little one. Sure does. Baby, still stop moving. I don't have it secured yet there. What's that gold spire building?
What's the what?
That gold spire. What is that? We didn't see that.
Sure. Yeah.
Did we?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
It's near Parchment.
Oh gosh. I was holding that in. I was like, as soon as we got outside, I just let her rip.
up here because we're up higher, right?
Maybe.
We only had so much time here, so we gotta move real quick. They close at 5.
Oh wow.
It close at 5.
Yeah. Okay. Home we go. Oh no.
Will you put this and this in my backpack?
Where in your backpack?
Big one. Just toss it. Want me to hold your water?
No, it's not that. I can't use my fingers. Sure you want it in the big one?
Yeah.
Okay. Baby, don't take off before I secure it. You do that every time. There. Sure.
Welcome, hiya. Welcome, hiya. Welcome.
Would you like a taste at all? We're doing taste.
Baby.
How are you doing today?
Good.
Good. Would you like a bag?
Yes, please.
The paper ones are 10p. Is that okay?
That's fine. What is that? A magnet?
Yeah. That's how I feel at the end of the day.
That's how I feel right now.
Today. Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah, it's quite tough if you're coming to Edinburgh if you're not used to it. Exactly.
Thank you. Do you need a small bag? Are you okay? Thank you. Hiya.
And that's £56.84.
What is real? No,
Just do cash.
You want more 20?
I got it.
There you go.
Have a good day.
$3.92 change for you there.
Hello. How are you?
And back there for you. Thank you so
All right,
much.
thank you.
You too. Down this way.
We have to go this way, I think. What? What did you see now? A little catapult?
It's a pencil sharpener. Does it work? Oh, it does work. You want that?
No. I saw that.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Oops.
What?
I was going to edit that video. It's going to be a bunch of nonsense and daddy getting angry at mommy. Is that a bathroom over there?
Yes.
No. No.
We have arrived and I don't know how long it's going to be.
That's fine, baby. I don't have to actually poop out here or pee. I can wait till we get to the bottom of the thing. The ice cream's still there.
Ice cream soda. I found this timber here very strange.
Because it's not real.
I know. The camera upstairs, like, really.
Do you hear what they're talking about? They say camera obscure is so expensive it's not worth it.
Really? Do you want to get any pictures?
Oh, you want to take your pictures, baby? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
There's a nice mountain over there.
That should fit in here, right?
What should?
The bag? So you don't have to be carrying around.
You got your fruit and everything in there.
I hate fruit. It's fruit can be. Hold on. Baby.
What? Let's go shove it in there. So, if I remember right,
You remember right what?
my Star Wars shop,
Should be down this way.
it is actually down this way somewhere. We can go there another time though.
We're down here.
Oh, baby. Okay.
Stand right here, please. Right. You take it.
Yeah, baby. I hit the button again.
You want ice cream?
No. I set my water down somewhere in there. I was carrying it with me in the gift shop.
Oh. I have water.
That's all right, honey. I just want to get the fuck out of here.
Oh.
I can't believe I set my water down.
Stop, baby. hotel first?
No, let's go get some food. Some real food. If we don't go now, everything will be closed by the time we go again.
I need 2 more people. I will start the tour.